Hi, very good morning. Welcome to JS Testing Academy. In this video, we thought of showing the demo of how to write API manual test case. Okay, so in our previous tutorial, we have added videos for API Postman tool, running as a request, running as a collection, running in Jenkins, doing performance testing, generating reports, okay, doing parameterization, right. So we have posted videos regarding the API Postman tool, but right in real time world, right, people will be asking you to write manual test cases. Okay, so we just start off going through the test cases which we wrote for API testing. So it might be helpful if you are working in an organization, if your manager or lead is asking you to write API manual test cases. Okay, so now let's open this template which you have written. So as it's given, right, we are given a JS testing logo here, and we are given a domain name and the project name. Okay, same template which we used to follow in the browser stack, in the UI, right? We followed here the same scenario, scenario ID, test case, test data parameter, description, okay, and expected result and steps to execute, expected result and actual result, and pass and fail. So we have written a test cases based on that. Okay, let's go through some of the test cases so that you get an idea about how to write API manual test case. Okay, so first scenario is checking the base URI. So base URI is nothing but right, if you go to the Postman tool. Okay, this one is a base URI, right? httpc 2ta.co.in, right? This is a base URI checking with valid base URI and checking with invalid base URI. I'm just giving a correct base URI and checking whether you're sending the request it's working fine or not, and giving a wrong base URI. The first test case is valid base URI and checking with this valid, and invalid I'm just changing some remote something, right? I'm just checking the invalid base URI. For example, I just remove right here something given in invalid, something like that. I'm just checking. Okay, so this is checking the valid base URI and the invalid base URI. I given a parameter here, what data I'm going to give, and the description to verify the API accept with valid base URI, to verify the API accept with invalid. It is not accepting. Okay, so it's not accepting with invalid base URI. Okay, not accepts with invalid base URI. And what are the steps I need to give? Right, create a new collection Postman, create a new get request in Postman tool, enter the endpoint with valid base URI, and click submit button. Same thing for invalid base URI, enter the invalid base URI. And next one is right, expected result API with valid should be written a valid response, and this one should not respond a valid response. This is the first test case. Two test cases I've written for this API manual testing test case. Next one is checking with valid resource. What is a valid resource? This is a valid resource, giving entering valid resource and checking an invalid resource. So valid request for post, you should post, I should get a post response, right? For invalid, should not get. So this is the next two test case I've written for valid resource, and next one is for invalid resource. Okay, so I just given right, valid and the invalid. For example, I'm just changing some spelling here, I'm just checking, I'm giving it an invalid resource. Okay, same thing, given description, steps, and also the expected result are given here. Okay, next one is right, valid status code. Suppose, right, I'm just giving a get request. Okay, so I'm giving a get request. If I click send, okay, what is the status code? 200. Okay, so checking whether I'm getting a proper status code or not an improper status code. So this is what I given. Validate get request gets a valid 200 status code. Okay, and post request, what status code is coming? Put request, what status is coding? Checking whether valid status code I am getting or not, That is what is the next three test cases for all these three methods, right? Three methods, right? What are the methods? Get, put, and delete. So post also. So what is the request, right? And the status code I'm getting for all this status code I given. Okay. Next one is valid post JSON response body. What is a post? What is it mean by post response body, right? For this one, right? Request body. Request means this one. For the post, what is a request body? Whether I am giving an is accepting valid post request, right? JSON request is accepting or not. If I give invalid, something I am changing here, right? It should not accept. Okay, should throw an error message. It should throw an error message, right? The parameter I'm just checking, not the value. If I change key, right, it should not accept. Okay, value I can give whatever value I want. Okay, so that is what is the next hmm, right, next thing. Okay, next one is right, valid put. First one is a request body, next one is a response body. Response body, what is mean by response body? If I give put, right, so what is the response I'm getting? The response body, right, is correct or not? Valid response body. First I checking for request, next I'm checking for response, whether I'm getting a proper valid response JSON body or not. That is what I'm checking. I have written test cases for this one. So valid post response body, invalid post response body should not get. Next one is valid response body, and next one is for put post. All these four methods I've written. Okay, next one is valid response format. I'm checking the format of JSON and XML here. Okay, so the format, right, if I give a wrong format, it should not accept. Okay, the JSON format I am checking. Okay, suppose I change something, it should not accept, right? It should be a valid format. That is what is the next test case is all about. Okay, next one is bearer token. Bearer token I'm giving here, right? I'm just checking the bearer token here. Okay, so I'm just checking, right, the authorization, right, the bearer correct authorization, the bearer token which I given, right. So basic auth bearer token. If it is given a right token, it should give access. If I give a wrong token, it should not access. That is what I'm giving in the next test case. Okay, so valid token it should accept, and invalid token it should not accept. We are going for an authentication. Next one is passing the generated response. Suppose, right, I post something, okay, I'll get a response here. I'll capture that response and put in the get. Whether the generated response is proper or not, I'm just getting that will be an input in the next API, right? So that is what I'm checking here in the next test case. Okay, next is query param, checking whether it's accepting the valid query param. If you see the test case, right, it's accepting the valid query param or not. Okay, so anything with question mark is called as a query param, right? You see, right, it is a valid query param. If it is a valid query param, it should accept. Invalid query param, it should not accept. Same with the path param. So anything with question mark is called as a query param. Without a question mark is coming, that becomes a path param. Okay, so valid question mark, query param and path param is accepting or not. If see the steps we are written: create a new collection postman, create a new get request in postman, enter a valid endpoint, click the body option, select the raw radio button, select the JSON option, enter the JSON body, enter the parameter in the options, and click the send button. You give the detailed steps for each and every test case, right? If you see, so this might be useful right while writing your test cases in your office. Okay, next one is updation of a resource. Suppose, right, I updated some request, so you should go to the basic previous video guys for this understanding. Okay, if I update a resource and if I give get, what happens, the resource should be updated, right? So checking whether the resource is updated or not, that is what the test cases which I have written here. Next one is deletion of a resource. If I delete, if I go and give get, right, it should be deleted. Okay, so this you go through the previous video, you'll get an idea. Okay, Next one is right, stay response status code validation. See in the test, right, we can give a JavaScript. You can, right, you can see the previous code. If I give just a code, simple JavaScript code for checking the response status code whether it's accepting or not accepting, I should check. Okay. Next one is response time, response payload validation. If I give payloads from the JavaScript, right, that is accepting or not accepting, I should check. Okay. So in the test, right, I give a payloads whether it is accepting or not accepting, I should go and check. Okay. Next one is response time validation. Check that the response is taking less than 500 milliseconds. Okay. So that I should check in the test cases. I have written test cases for this also. Okay. Next one is response body presence, key and value presence. What is a response body? This one, key and value. Proper key is there, proper value is there. I'm just checking. For this I have written the test cases. Okay. So this is all sample test cases I have written. Hope is right, is useful. Right, key presence and the value presence. Okay, I've given a parameter here, so I've given steps, the description here, data here. Okay, so everything you can go through in your right. If you want, you can just let us know, ping the WhatsApp, right? So you will know. I will share this test cases. Okay, so you can go to our official site, JS Testing Academy site. You can see the number, contact number. You can ping us, right? You can share this one. Okay. Next one is right, schema validation. Okay, the schema which is given is correct or not. We written test cases and error message, we are getting appropriate error message or not. Okay, if I give anything wrong, 400 means 400 series. Okay, appropriate error message should be there. Data does not exist, like that error message is coming or not, that is what we are checking here. Next one is authentication and authorization. Okay, like OAuth, bearer token, right? So API token key, right? All this authorization and authentication is working or not, whether the endpoint is secured or not, we should check. Okay, data integrity. Okay, so whether the data is being integrated, is integrity or not. Okay, so that you should check. Okay, so that is also one key important thing. Okay, next one is right, boundary condition of the right, boundary condition by giving maximum on in the request and response and the endpoint also. That is, there should be boundary condition. It should not cross more than that. Okay. Next one is security validation. Whether the API is secured from SQL injection or not. Okay, so these are the test cases we have written. Still we can write more test cases in API, right, regarding with API Postman. Okay, hope this one is useful to you, and you can contact us from the JS testing website if you want more test cases, or if you want this test case document also, you can contact us in WhatsApp. Thanks for watching the video. Hope it's useful for you. Thank you.